Hello, you guys. Happy belated Thanksgiving. That's not something people say. I shouldn't even say the time because who knows when this will go on the podcast. It could be like literally a month from now. Whatever. I'm recording this Black Friday weekend. If that's when you're listening, or if that's not when you're listening, just know that that's when we are in time right now. I should just start this over, but here we are. So, I am wrapping up the best weekend of sales in my life, in my 6.5 years in sales, in network marketing. And I have one really, really focused takeaway that I want to share with you guys, especially as we go into 2024, especially as in December, most people are reevaluating their goals. They're kind of coming up with an action plan for 2024. And this is, it's really kind of the key to everything. It's literally the key. I mean, it's the key to everything. Okay. I have this belief that if you have been in network marketing for even a few years, you probably have a decent skill set. Okay. This might sound weird, but just roll with me. Okay. I believe at this point, you're probably at least comfortable going live. Okay. Whether you're consistent or not is not the question right now. You're probably at least comfortable going live. You probably can at least do a reel, okay? You can post on Facebook. You probably know Canva by now, okay? There's going to be some people who I'm speaking gibberish, but for the majority of people in network marketing, I think this stuff has been around long enough. You know, reels have been out for 5 years now. Like, isn't that wild to think? Like, I'm pretty sure they started like 2018. So it's like, none of this stuff is new anymore. Like, we've been at this for a while, okay? So, like, we know how to do reels. We know how to go live. We know how to make posts. We know to not be spammy. Like, we are in, like, a new age of network marketing, and we all know what to do. Whether we do it or not, it's not the question. Again, I believe that we all have a decent skill set, okay? So, believing that you have a decent skill set, then we move on to, are we taking action, okay? Again, questionable. I think most people are not consistent. This is just my overarching from having conversations with hundreds of network marketers. I don't think anyone is consistent enough. I don't think hardly anyone is doing like a reel every single day. If you're in a party plan company, I don't believe that you do a party every single week like you should. Like, I don't think any of us are going live enough. Like, I don't think we're loud enough at all. Like, just plain and simple, I think everyone was so excited during the pandemic. We were going live 5 times a day. We were learning reels. We were being stupid, finally trying to figure out TikTok at 30, 40, 50 years old. We weren't afraid to look dumb, and now here we are 2 years later. I don't think anyone is consistent enough. I don't think anyone is loud enough, but I do think we have the skill set, okay? So all that being said, lots of ranting going on right now, but I could rant at network marketers. I think that's how a lot of us coaches are feeling, like you all know what to do and just no one's doing it enough. So here is just some statistics, okay? And I think a lot of you probably aren't very nerdy, but these are just some very simple facts I just want to kind of spit at you, okay? And these statistics are not industry standards. These are my personal statistics that I do think line up with industry standards, but I'm going to tell you my statistics so that you can understand where I'm coming from right now, okay? So, for example, about 10% of my Facebook followers see my posts. 10%, okay? In my group, it's like 2%. Literally, like 2%. Tiny. Like a tiny amount of people are seeing my posts in my group, okay? 2%. Between, let's say between 2 and 5 if it's a good post. Between 2 and 5% of people in my customer group are seeing my posts. About 10% of my followers on Facebook are seeing my posts. Only about 3% of my following watches my stories. 3%. That's tiny. 97% of my following doesn't watch my stories. Okay? Email marketing, I do have a 42% open rate, which actually feels very good. But I have a 42% open rate, which if you're sleeping on email marketing, you're crazy. Every single coach will tell you to have an email list. It's your most important asset. But 42% is my open rate in email, okay? So 42%, 2%, 3%, 10%. We're talking tiny percentages. So how on earth did I sell $5,000 in 3 days? I just have a bigger audience. That's all it is. That's all it comes down to. I have worked on growing my email list. When I started my email list, it was 0, right? It started at 0. So it doesn't matter if it's 0 or 10 or 100. The open rate hasn't changed. My open rate has been between 35 and 45% for 6.5 years. The open rate hasn't changed. So if the open rate doesn't change, if I tell you factually between 30 and 50% are going to open their emails, do you want an email list of 10 people or 10,000 people? If I tell you statistically that only 3% of people are gonna watch your stories, do you want 100 followers or 100,000 followers? If I tell you that there's nothing you can do, only 2% of people in your customer group are going to see your posts, do you want 200 people in your group or do you want 10,000 people in your group? We are all fighting the same statistics. When we build businesses on social media, these businesses or these platforms aren't for businesses. These platforms aren't here for us to sell to our audiences. We can't get mad at the audience or we can't get mad at the platforms when the platforms don't want us selling to their people. That's not what they're there for. They're there for social media. So we're using these tools in a way they're not meant to be used, and then we complain. Stop complaining and figure it out. Stop complaining and play the game. The game is 2% of people are going to see your posts. What are you going to do about it? The game is 3% of people are going to watch your stories. What are you going to do about it? I love all of you, but I'm sick of it. I am so sick of it that you just need to be louder. You just need to be more consistent. But Morgan, my following doesn't grow. I love you. You do like 1 reel a month. Your following isn't going to grow. It's like, Morgan, no one joins my group. When's the last time you invited anyone? Again, this is very real, which is why it's going on the podcast. But it's like, you say you want these things, but what actions are you taking towards them? What's the goal? What's the plan? What's the strategy? What are you doing? We have turned into like this industry of people that are like so skilled. I truly believe that we are like the most skilled in network marketing history, but no one is putting a strategy in place. No one has a plan. We're all just posting on social media and then wishing and hoping, and it doesn't work that way. The people winning are doing it intentionally. The people winning have a plan and they know where they're going and they're taking steps to get there. So in 2024, my hope for you is that you have a plan, that you have goals. How many followers do you want in December of 2024? How many friends do you want in December of 2024? How many people do you want in your group in December of 2024? And then what are you going to do between now and December of 2024 to make that happen? That's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on growth. We need to focus on being louder and actually putting our skills in front of people who care. It doesn't matter how good I am at makeup if no one is watching the videos. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter how skilled you are in your customer service if no one knows you have a business. We have to grow our audiences. It's one of the most, in my opinion, it's going to be one of the most important things in 2024 because it is loud. Social media is loud, and there are a lot of people who are not in network marketing, who are not in anything, and all they're doing is dancing and cooking and doing crazy things, and they are stealing the eyes that you could actually help. They're not helping people. Don't get me wrong. I scroll reels just as much as anyone, but it's not helping my life. It's not bringing value to me. Your audience needs you to be louder. Your audience needs you to pour value out loud into social media. See my filter? I have a filter on because it has been a long weekend, you guys. But I want you to think about your goals. I want you to think about where you want to be in December of 2024. And then I want you to make a plan, and then I want you to actually do it. And I really think that by December of 2024, we all could have grown our audiences so much that 2025, I know, just hear me out. By 2025, we're ready to really, truly grow this industry again. But it's going to take time, and it's going to take bravery, and it's going to take consistency, y'all. Like, the lack of consistency in network marketing has been atrocious in 2023. And I don't want to see it in 2024. I want you to have your calendars filled. I want you to have your DMOs in place. Like, we got to pull it together, okay? So, I love you all. There will be more of this coming over the next 5 weeks as we lean in to 2024. It is right around the corner. And I want all of you to win. Okay? Bye, guys.